Okay guys, so by the time you see this video, you're probably gonna see two more very good videos. One is on me resurfacing that table on the Sharp, and another one building a nut to hold the carousel spindle hub over there. And so now, as you see, I got the carousel mounted. I don't have the cover on. I'm not gonna use the cover for now, right now, because I'm still dialing in some stuff. I got my two sensors mounted. Oh my God, this magnet. I got my two sensors mounted here, like I talked before. So this sensor is going to pick up the signal from the carousel wheel, and the other one, the smaller one, is going to pick up the signal from the followers itself, the wheel followers itself. So that, that's a pretty accurate way to home the carousel. So getting out of there, I ordered me this hydraulic shocks online. I ordered two different sets. These ones are way too small. I don't think they're gonna perform as I need to. So you probably figure out what I'm gonna do with this, and if you don't, I'll explain you in a second. These are gonna be the hydraulic shocks holding my carousel travel. You know that, because I wanted to go fast, but I also wanted to slow down on the very end, and the only way I found to do it is using hydraulics shocks. So there is a, let me get up here. Wait. So there's a groove somewhere back here for where the this used to travel on. This thing will just retract or extend the carousel when it turns with DC motor. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use that groove, and today I'm gonna build a piece of aluminum. It's gonna be like a bump bracket. I'm gonna call it like that. So pretty much what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna build something that is gonna be bolted to the back of this housing, and it's gonna travel with the housing, and it's gonna bump into these shocks. So these shocks, they're gonna be mounted somewhere here, maybe, and when the carousel travel forward, to extend, it's gonna hit on this, and this gonna take that speed away from it and kind of slow it down and stop it on position. So I'm gonna have one here and one on the back side, for both sides, stopping both that high inertia that I'm gonna try to get, putting a lot of pressure, a lot of speed on the pneumatic cylinder, so it will engage into C-axis and back, or into the spindle and back. But I want to stop that speed with this. I don't want the cylinder to take that hit on the very end. So I'm gonna hold it, kind of slow it down with this hydraulics. So this one is gonna be here. I gotta build a bracket for it too, and I'm gonna build like a bump deal, aluminum piece on the back of this, traveling with it and hitting into that hydraulic shock or whatever. So I got a piece of aluminum I'm gonna be cutting. I draw small piece. I'm gonna be building it out of this piece of aluminum I had over there. It's a 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch by 6, and so I'm gonna put it on the brothers, take a small shot at it, and hope you like it. Okay, I will put this is gonna be the beginning of the video, so I'm gonna be taking videos of me cutting that and all that. All right, guys. Okay, let's do some probing. I know this side on the stock is a little bit lower. I bounce all this and it's not perfect. So first I'm gonna set my height on the lower, my C height on the lower side. And then I'm gonna move kind of around the middle. Lower my C a little bit. And I'm gonna do my X first. I already know the stock is around 6 inches, so I input on Mach 3 6 1/4. I mean 6 1/2. So I got a 1/4 inch clearance. I got my X. So now I'm gonna change to my Y-axis. And I'm gonna probe my Y too. That's it. So now my part probe. Just gotta load my program and run it. Unhook this and do an M. Always do an M60. And I get my probe out of there. I don't want him in there. Okay guys, so I got my part, my stock center, like you saw it previously. I set up my 3 tools. They're my regular tools. That's my 1/2 inch, my chamfer 1/4 inch, I mean my 1/2 inch end mill, flat end mill, my chamfer 1/4 inch, and that's gonna be it pretty much. I'm not gonna use nothing else. 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch. I'm just gonna rough out and kind of finish on the outside. This is gonna be the pretty much the lower side of that bump, whatever we call it, that we're gonna put on the carousel housing or whatever. All right, let me run it then. Load it. So it's gonna be, sorry, it's gonna be 3 tools. I always forget. It's gonna be my 2 inch face mill, my 1/2 inch face mill or end mill, and my my 1/4 inch. I got shavings everywhere. 55 minutes cycle time. Looks decent finish. And you know, that's a pretty good cut. I mean, for this little machine, that was 30 thousandths dip. Face here on the top, see? The face mill. So that's the lower part, or the back side. Let me put it out of there. I don't care. I'm gonna insert all of this on in the one video for this part. So let me climb here on the machine and see if I can show you. Oh. The magnet for this machine will pull you up there. Okay, so I got this. Wait a minute. I got this vices holding the carousel because I don't want it to move. I mean, while I'm working on it. Okay. So, so the gap you see back here, this gap here, is because this is gonna be traveling, you know, to push on this sensor on the top side, and this is gonna be traveling there, so it's gonna have a gap for the sensor cable, and then on the bottom side we're gonna have the wait a minute. Bottom side, I don't know if you can see over there. Whoa. Like this. There we go. On the bottom side, we're gonna have the, you know, this piston hitting on it, you know, like boom, and shocking, you know, the inertia on it, holding it, so it's not that aggressive going back and forth. So this cylinder is going to be sitting down here, and this thing is going to be traveling with the carousel slide back and forth, and at the same time, you know, when it finishes hitting on the shock, it probably is going to hit on the sensor and say, hey, I'm back in position, so then the macro keeps going. Alright, well, I'm going to stop you right here, and let me pull this back in place. Oh, I'll do that now. And put my vice strips back here. We don't need an accident, so we gotta do that. Alright guys, I'm gonna do the other part. I'm gonna load it, center it, and run the other part. The other part, we're gonna have some thread in here, some kind of, you know, little better stuff. Alright. Okay guys, so I turn it over my part. Now I gotta finish, you know. This part is gonna be mounted on the back. That's where I'm gonna have kind of like a boss that is gonna sit on that gap, that that gap that has that housing has on the back. So and that boss is gonna have some holes, and them holes are going to be threaded. Then I'm going to have to build something else that is going to kind of squeeze in between the two with the bolts, and stay, so it can stay on the back of that that housing. So pretty much I'm going to come with a 2-inch face mill. I'm going to face it off. I'm going to use the same 2-inch face mill. This is not a big deal. And I'm going to contour that boss, and then I believe I'm gonna finish it. I don't remember right now what I did on the cam over there. Probably gonna finish it with a 1/2 inch, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and then I believe I'm going to center drill. Center drill, thread mill, chamfer, all the good stuff after that. So I'm gonna sit you in here. It's probably gonna be longer than the other one. So let's see what happens. 9.8. It's kind of on the tight side. It's too tight. Yeah, that's too tight. So I'm gonna rerun it, but I'm not gonna hold you to it. So probably just rerun it or get a top and run it on. I gotta fix my my G43, you know, on that end mill. But other than that, it's good. Oh my God, this magnet. Other than that, you know, the parts looks good, really good. I'm gonna go ahead and, instead of, you know, running a tap on it, I'm gonna go ahead and use this board to adjust my thread. But I'd rather be I'd rather be tight than loose. So yes. So yeah, I'll fix this. That's not a problem. We can fix that. All right, guys. I'll be back. Okay, guys. My problem was on my tool offset. It was set up to 240 thousandths. It's actually 235 thousandths. So it's just, you know, the diameter on the tool is a lot smaller, 5,000 smaller. So I haven't done the rest. I mean, this one is still tight. I just tried on this one, and she's pretty good. No movement at all, and it's, you know, it goes in pretty good. So it's pretty tight. So I'm just gonna run the rest, and we'll keep going. So the brothers finishes our part for the Haas. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you something that. So this big old fan was sitting somewhere in here, so I don't know if it's a factory stuff. Wait, oh, it was sitting somewhere back here, and like I said, I don't know if this is a factory fan. I mean, it comes like that. I'll probably have to do some research. It looks like a pretty big hole. Maybe it was a smaller fan that was sitting over there, and they just cut it open and put this one on. So I don't know, when I close it, you know, it's gonna get all the way here under the, I mean, it's not gonna bother, I believe, maybe yeah, it's probably gonna touch with my driver's wire, so I'm not gonna do that. Probably gonna put something smaller, or put it on the inside, you know, get the cover off, put it on the inside there. I don't know, I mean on the outside pretty much. And they also cut this and put it up here, square hole in it. So it's really crazy what people does with these machines, you know. Look at that hole. It's not even, you know, it's not even square or whatever. So yeah, we got to do something there. I'll probably pull this out, pull me some kind of something there, some vents or whatever. So it looks like the air flows. So it looks like it will inject the air through this fan, and it'll inject the air through this fan, and it will come through the top. That's the way it looks. They designed it. So I mean, that fan is gonna suck the air through that filter that we mount over there, and inject it in there, and it's gonna come out of, you know, this hole. So so it's definitely gonna have the filter over there. So I don't know, I mean the filters down here is pretty hard to put in, get them bolts. So what I'll do, and I was thinking about it, I don't know if I'm able to do that or not, depending on the bolt pattern, but I was thinking to get this and turn it over so I can just slide the filter, you know, from the top, just, you know, pull it up and slide it and just drop it over there. If I'm able to do that, I don't have to use this crazy cover that gets got down here with some bolts that you cannot line it up. It's crazy. So I'll probably try to turn this over. If I turn it over, I just drop the filter in there, and that will do it. But yeah, I wanted to touch, show you that crazy people did back there on that door. And so our first part is done. What I did with that 5/16. And so we good in all of them. That's the last one. Let's see. I want to check. Let's see if I got it. Yeah, I got it good. Should be close to 1 inch. Yeah, well, I'm a little bit over 1 inch. But you see it. Yeah, I'm a little bit over. I'm around 4,000. So, but that was me. Speeding up, didn't give it any time on that. I don't know, you're probably gonna see it on the video. That I lifted. I mean, I turned my feet and speed up. I mean my feet higher, and then my half-inch mill went like wow. So I didn't give it any time to do the clean pass. That's maybe where those 3,000-4,000s are, but it's not a big deal. It should go in there with no problem, and we'll do that. All right, guys, come back. Okay, guys, so we got this part done. Now we're gonna have some kind of holder. I don't know how to say it, but anyway. So this piece is gonna sit on top of this one, holding through that slide. So I'm gonna hold this on the slide with this piece right here. So it's gonna be a bracket, something like that. I don't know, but anyway, let's gonna send it. I already got a sander at home, so we just gotta get the job done. So in here. I don't know how good this is holding. that one. I don't know if you're able to see anything out there. So that's the first part. So pretty much these two parts are gonna meet like this, and that one is gonna hold this one. That one there is gonna hold this one against the carousel housing or whatever. So now I'm gonna turn it over and put some big old chamfers on the holes, so these holes, they will, I mean these bolts, they will sit on that chamfer. Okay guys, so I got the other part done. The one is gonna meet to this one. So pretty much it's gonna be like gonna be like, I have to go over there and fix my chamfers, and still they maybe not perfect. That's pretty much how, you know, how it's gonna look. So this is gonna meet with this, holding against that housing, and it's gonna have this 5/16 counter. To hold against, you know, that meter. So when I tighten it, it's gonna, I can always adjust it up and down because the gap on that thing is a little bit bigger. So I don't know if we can go over there and mount it. There's not much room here. Probably gonna have to pull the carousel. I'll have to pull the carousel motor out. I'm gonna pull it out. Let me go and kill the power on that drive, and so I can turn the motor a little bit, and then do this. So, 2 wires. I gotta turn the motor down here. Why not? Sorry guys, there are things that can be taught. 15-inch or I don't know, somewhere there. This thing fit here pretty tight. I don't know if you noticed. I have to put a I have to put a cut here so I can slide that motor like this. So I can sit you somewhere else. Put a gap here so I can slide this motor out of there pretty tight. So we need to put that piece that we built on this gap. So I don't know how. We're gonna try this. Here. Let it fall. Let it fall in here. There we go. Okay. And then we get this other one. Whoa. Where are you going? Okay. There it is. Yeah, this is good. Let me get the other bolts. Hide him. I hope it's on the way up. That's it. sitting back here, and it's gonna wait light. So it's gonna come this way and hit the switch. No. I don't know how. You know, that switch and this switch too. Just very good over there. It's not hidden on there. Got plenty of room for cable now. Sensors, cables. So that's it, guys. We got it built. And now we just got the magnet on this GoPro. It's something else. All the carousel. Got with the motor. Ya mi vida. Dame un día que estoy haciendo un video. Okay. That's it. That's it, guys. Monitor over there, and it's not messing with the back of the motor or nothing. It's in place. So we're gonna wrap this video. Just a long one. I'm gonna put together a bunch of pieces, but that's how it looks back there. The plan worked out pretty good. Okay, so one more thing got done, and I'll get back to you again with something else. So now I got to build me the brackets to hold this hydraulics here, so it bumps on it when it comes all the way here. Boom. So we'll see how that goes. All right, guys. Thank you for watching.